Tampa.
Chicago, Tampa.
All right, 10 seconds.
Hey Buffalo, how you doing this evening? I'm Mike Martinez. Alongside me, I have
Spencer Tobin.
and to join us today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Paul Crowley.
Okay, we're here for our normal weekly talk about Buffalo Bills Talk Online. And Spencer, what do you have in store for us for today?
Well, we got a lot of stuff on tap tonight. We're going to talk some Bills, of course. We're going to talk about some of the new contracts signed, the new waiver moves the Bills made this week, whether they're big or small. We'll talk about Kelly's tournament and how the guys all went, the whole Bills team.
Awesome.
We got a little bit of fancy football to talk about. Our favorite segment, of course, is Are You Out of Your Mind?
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, baby. We got a lot to get down to. Right now, we're going to start with the big announcement of the Bills-Jacksonville game in London and how it's going to be streamed online globally. It's TV history in the making right here, and this might be the future of how NFL games are going to be broadcast from here on out. What do you guys think?
Tell me, Paul.
Well, it clearly is going to be an interesting experience for everybody. Looking at a Sunday afternoon for myself when it comes to watching football, and of course this game will be on in the morning, I always look forward to going and watching TV, watching SportsCenter, seeing all the things that kind of lead up to it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a little different this year, obviously playing early in the morning, but having an opportunity to do something like this, I think, is going to be a unique experience in itself. Throw this into the mix, and I don't know. I'm excited about it, but I'm kind of nervous that who knows, something could go wrong, some hacking, some crazy stuff like that, and it's certainly going to be something that I think everybody's going to have a hard time with. Just sitting around a laptop just sounds like a crazy experience to me. I don't know. I'm sure there are many ways that you can tap the feed into your television set, but at the same time, I don't know. It just seems like a little bit different than what I'm used to.
Yeah,
I don't like it. Personally, I don't like it. It's just another marketing ploy to try to globalize football. You know, try to get teams, over there in Europe and stuff like that. Personally, I don't mind that, but I don't want to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and watch my team play.
No, I don't either. I mean, I'm from South Buffalo. I don't mind getting up drinking that early, but trying to root my team on.
Or coming home that early.
Yeah. Those days for me are in my past, so I like to sleep until about 10, 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. But that normally doesn't happen. The kids are always waking me up. So I guess the kids are just going to have to go without breakfast that morning. But in the grand scheme of things, I really don't, like the move too much. The NFL, just let us play our games.
Yeah, it is. It's our sport. I mean, it's the United States game, and I think just bringing it overseas is going to be tough. The schedule is going to be tough on the players, and I say keep it home. Keep it in North America.
I agree. I'm going to enjoy beating Doug Marrone. That's something that I'm looking forward to. But at the same time, with jokes aside, I'm excited that we get to be the red, white, and blue in a different country and kind of represent the league. But hearing that we're going to be streaming in on the computer is just something that, I don't know, maybe if I do get up a little late that morning, Spence, I'll be able to roll over and watch it on my phone. But, I mean, honestly, I look forward to a long day of football on Sunday, and knowing that, I can't start it off at 8:30 with the Bills now is going to be kind of disappointing to me.
Yeah, I hear you. And one quick thing to touch on before we move from that subject is, Paul, you mentioned hackers, things like that. I think it could be pretty entertaining if somebody does, pull some shenanigans, maybe some kind of practical jokes. It'd be pretty tough, though, because the NFL did get Yahoo to handle this big to-do for them. I mean, this is a huge project to undertake, so they want to trust someone who's got a strong foothold and a good reputation on the line here to make sure there are no hackers or practical jokes, I'm sure.
I'd like to see them hack in some Randy Orton, do some TKOs, RKOs.
On the players.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun right in the middle of the game. Boom!
I think there's a lot of creative people out there who make that extra entertaining. But
looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be, either way it's going to be fun.
It's going to be different. I just, at the end of the day, I don't care where we are, I hope we come away with the W.
And I think the Bills fans will be well represented over there too. A lot of people travel to watch our team, and have an opportunity to go over the big pond to check them out would be really, really fun.
Oh yeah, great reason and excuse to go touring over in England. Why not? Represent the team. Like
Absolutely.
Speaking of the team and representing the team, Fred Jackson's been getting a lot of play lately, and he recently was talking about how he's not so sure what his role is going to be this year, but he seems talking the talk as far as being a good team player. He doesn't mind a reduced role if he does. The Bills have mentioned it might give him a reduced role to keep him fresh, keep him explosive. But he wants LaShawn McCoy to get at least 300 plus carries, not just touches, carries. So what do you guys feel about that? Do you think you want Fred to see the lesser role? Do you think McCoy should get that many carries? Or
Oh man, 300 plus carries. I think it took 3 to 4 of our running backs last year to get 300 carries. So it's hard for me to even imagine right now. I know Rex is planning on giving him the ball as much as possible. I think Fred Jackson is being truthful in what he's saying. He's just that type of a player. He's about the team. Mm-hmm. He knows he's the oldest running back in the league. He knows he can't take the weight of the team on his shoulders anymore. But when his number is called, he will go out there and he will execute. That's one thing I think, I'm still rooting for him. I know he's on that bubble. I'm still rooting for him not to get cut this season. They have to find a way to keep him on this team.
I don't think he's going anywhere. And honestly, one of the best things that Fred has to offer is his ability to block in the backfield. The pass rush is going to come at this team this year, knowing that we don't even know who it's going to be yet. So having Fred there, not only to fill that spot and be there to step up and take that hit, he can also show Shady a lot and give him some experience in that department too. Mm-hmm. Let's not forget, Shady's going to catch a lot of balls, let alone rush with them.
Right.
So there'll be times and there'll be many packages where both of those players are on the field at the same time. And don't forget, Freddie's in great shape. He's been an underdog his whole life.
Yes.
He's a Division III athlete who has done incredible things, and he's always represented the city well. And since he's gotten here, there have been many running backs that have come and gone and done really well on other teams, yet Fred has always stayed here and done well for us, not only as a player, but representing the city as well.
You are very, very right about that.
Love him. That's why he's a captain. Absolutely one of the best leaders on this team. So if you could put Fred's mind and experience into Shady's body, that'd be an interesting pairing. But we're going to move on to some roster moves next. We're going to talk about, we're dropped Jeff Toole. Some people might think it was about time. Some people might still want to see what he could do. I think he's shown what he can do. So they bring in Phil Sims' boy, Matt Sims, right? Not journeyman, I should say. He's pretty still young. A couple years, I think he's been with the Jets there, one of Rex's guys. Mm-hmm. And the Bills brought in Buchanan from the Patriots, defensive end / outside linebacker, pretty versatile. He could actually play, passing down. So he might be buried in the depth chart. He might actually show what he's got. Who knows? Do you guys have any opinions about these players, the moves, anything like that come to your mind that you want to talk about? Or?
I think it's going to be difficult for both players to make the team. I mean, you're talking about two positions that, I should take a step back there. Of course, if Sims comes in and lights it up and does well and, works well with Sammy and works well with the new tight end and works well with all these guys coming out of the backfield and all the weapons, that's one thing. But let's not forget, we signed Castle for some serious cheddar, and he's going to be around not knowing what's going to be happening with some of the other guys as well. I think it's going to be tough for Sims to make the team in that role, but I honestly feel the guy we got from New England, what's his last name, Covington? Or what's his Buchanan, excuse me. On this defense and the number of packages that Rex is going to throw at people, I think he's going to fit in really, really well. Come in on third down, make some plays. That's what they brought him in for. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you play defense, that's the best thing you want to hear from your coach. We want you to come in and rush the quarterback on third down and make plays. And I'm hoping that he'll come in and do that.
I feel the same as far as Buchanan goes. I think Rex, with all the different multiple package sets that he's going to show, is going to find a space for him. There's going to be a lot of guys rested, which is great. One's going to, our defense is hard enough to play as it is. We got guys rested throughout the game because of all the different fronts they're going to be seeing. So I do think he's going to find a place. Matt Sims, I don't think he's made it this far because his last name is Sims. I can't lie. Mm-hmm. Where are you going to put this guy? I mean, I don't have field pass, so I'm not out there able to go see the OTAs. Mm-hmm. But, when they're saying that Castle's hitting these guys in stride, EJ's, making his passes the way he's supposed to be making his passes. Tyrod Taylor threw a 60-yard bomb in the air today to Marquise Goodwin. The only reason he didn't catch it is because one of the defenders pulled on his jersey from behind. So
he's fast.
Yeah. Goodwin? Oh, Goodwin's fast, definitely. So the fact that you got these three quarterbacks all in the fight, we're worried about who's going to make it between these three. I can't see them keeping three quarterbacks on the field.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they find a way to, put Tyrod Taylor in there a few times, whoever our starter ends up being. If it's not Tyrod Taylor, I feel like Rex is pretty creative, and he likes what Tyrod brings to the table with his versatility, too. I'm pretty sure Rex will put him on the field for a few plays here and there just to kind of confuse defenses.
Sure. He didn't bring him out for his good looks. That's for sure.
Well, that's what we brought you for.
That's right. He's been trying to get this guy for, 2 seasons now?
Yeah.
So he finally got the man. He sees something in him that he likes. He's not just going to let it go.
Yeah.
I've been saying this since day one. This is the wild card. We know what Castle brings to the table. We're hoping EJ turns it around. But this guy's a wild card. He's been sitting there doing what we wanted quarterbacks to be able to do, especially the everybody other not named Andrew Luck. Mm-hmm. We want him to come in, drafted, come in, sit for a few years behind a good quarterback, learn NFL football, and he's had that opportunity.
Aaron Rodgers, just like that.
Like Aaron Rodgers, exactly.
That's the first thing I thought.
Like Brady.
Yeah. Well,
not for nothing. Behind Bledsoe.
Yeah, but he came in because the guy got knocked out.
Out, but he was still there. He didn't get his chance.
I think that Tyrod certainly has some incredible talents that he brings to the table. It's just integrating it in with this entire huge amount of cast of characters with incredible talent across the board. So I agree with you, Spence. I wouldn't be surprised if Rex gets creative and brings him in. For some wildcat or all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. He's got some serious wheels, and we know he can motor. And from what Mike said, he's got a good arm too. So it's going to be a fun summer watching these guys battle it out for that spot.
Absolutely. Real quick, Paul. Day 1 starter, early prediction. Who is it?
Castle, no doubt.
Castle. We got 2 for Castle.
Unless he gets hurt. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Barring any injuries, things like that, I feel they're going to go with Castle. Like you said, they paid him a lot of money, and his experience will probably win out. If he doesn't have a hot start, though, I believe we're going to plug somebody else in. I think it's going to be Tyrod Taylor.
I think he's the definite number 2, unless EJ goes out there and shows something great. He's been practicing with your boy in the off season, the Bird. So hopefully that transitions to something. I definitely. I'm a fan of EJ's. I'm not an EJ hater or a basher, so I definitely want the best for the kid.
Our producer actually thinks it's going to be Matt Castle too. We like to chime in with his texting once in a while on our big screen.
Yes, I thought that teleprompter was going a little haywire for a while we were.
So we got the grand slam here. All 4 of us think it's going to be.
Yeah, it is. You heard it here first, folks. It's written in stone.
What do we got next?
Next, we're going to hit up a little just for fun. Pete Prisco did his own CBS.com version of the top 100 players in the NFL.
Yeah.
4 Bills made it. We got Darius, McCoy, Mario, and Kyle Williams all made it on there, and I'm not surprised. I mean, these guys are all Pro Bowl caliber players, and they deserve it. I just wish they would have gotten ranked higher.
I think the whole defensive line should have been on there.
Possibly.
I'm not gonna lie.
Serious talent.
Call me prejudiced, whatever. But I think they all deserve a spot. Hughes had a phenomenal season.
I'm sure he's happy with the contract he just signed.
I'm sure not being on the list to see. I'm very proud of the guys. I'm really proud of the guys for making it. They.
I think Hughes. Are we saying that Hughes was on that list? Oh, so we had 5 guys. So you were right. They should have had the front 4. Absolutely.
But that was the personal list. That is the NFL.
Oh, okay.
The NFL Network.
Well, the NFL one. Yeah, the NFL did their own, and then Pete Prisco kind of chimed in with his own to say, hey, well, this is how I feel it's going to be. And, well, that's great. And I really like what we got coming up next. This is going to be pretty interesting. Darius obviously has a 1-game suspension. Our first game is against probably who I feel could even win the Super Bowl this year is the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Bills' defense with the new coaching, all our depth, all our creativity with the different fronts we're going to show, are we going to miss Darius against that strong offense, or are we going to be okay, or what do you guys feel about that?
I mean, of course we're going to miss him. The NFL is a big play business, and guess what? Marcel makes a lot of big plays.
Yes.
Not having one of your best players on the field, and clearly believed by many to be one of the best players in the NFL, it's going to hurt, but it's the NFL. It's the next guy up. They have brought in some players to fill in some gaps, and let's face it, the one good thing that the Bills do have is depth on defense, and having guys that can come in and play in those positions, play in those spots, is going to be very beneficial for them. Not just in the opener when Marcel's out, but maybe when someone's banged up, or maybe when someone needs to get a breath. You can see the Bills are doing a lot of substituting, and that's something that's very common with what Rex does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think with all the different fronts, they're definitely going to be able to make it, but he will be missed because he takes up two defenders or offensive players to just block him.
Yeah.
So, but again, we got his backup. Who is his backup right now?
Win,
Jerry Swin.
right?
Yeah, it is Win. Win was the end.
No.
Win's the end.
Okay.
Preston Brown? No.
No, he's linebacker. Come on, producer man. Back up. Never mind. Anyways,
No.
that's why these are practice shows.
Alex
Carrington.
We just got him back.
Thank
That's
you.
right.
So
I was
he'll be
thinking
able
last
to,
year's roster.
between him, Mario Williams, Hughes on the side, everybody shooting from every different direction. We'll make it, but he's definitely, needs to stop drinking and driving.
Absolutely.
Again, he's paying a price. He's missing the game, but at the end of the day, he could have lost his life. He could have hurt someone else.
He was lucky.
He was lucky. Hughes, you were even luckier because you didn't get into a car accident. But yeah, definitely.
And another good point would be the fact that the Colts, they did get Frank Gore. Their running game has been pretty bad, even for a successful team. But they've got a lot to prove. But the Bills might have an easier time against the run, or they might not. The Colts might just shove it down our throat. Do you guys feel that that's going to be a successful running game this year for the Colts, or think the Bills are going to just make them look bad?
If I remember correctly, Buffalo last year gave up on the average 106 yards per game on the run. So, regardless of who they're playing, they need to step their game up in that area. Hopefully, the moves that we made this offseason will help out with that. Frank Gore, good running back, very good running back. He's getting a little up there though, right? He's been about 7-8 years in the league now.
Yeah, he's I think he's at the over 30 mark, but he's still every year had a productive season.
He's a typical NFL back. I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's anything real special about what he brings to the table. Look,
No.
I'm excited because we're going to have an opportunity to see some of what these other guys can do having Marcel out.
Right.
And what better place than in the home opener when everybody's rocking and rolling? That place is going to be going bananas. Everybody cannot wait for that day, including many of the players. So I don't see the Colts coming in here and running the ball down our throats. I mean, I don't know if 100 was the number, but I guarantee you not many guys came into the Ralph and ran for 100 yards. That's not going to happen. And seeing where we're at with this defense, I could see us having and showing the league that we're ready to rock even without one of our most dominant players after week 1.
I think that building is going to be ready to rock too. It might even be like a playoff atmosphere just because all the excitement and buzz going around with the moves we made.
Sure.
The new hires and everything
New
New coach. A lot of people probably be at the stadium who have not been there yet since the renovations that they did last year.
Awesome.
Right. They are awesome. I don't know why we need a new stadium. I think it's a great looking stadium. It's got beer, it's got seats, it's got a field, and it's got somewhere to go to the bathroom.
What else do you need?
Well, it finally has is easy access. You're not waiting in long lines. If you know the spots where you're supposed to go and you do what you need to do, it's much easier to get in and out of there than it ever was before. And I mean, kudos to the Erie County Sheriff's Department and all the people who are working out there because they're doing just such a great job, not only keeping people safe, but making sure that they have a good time. And that's what it's all about.
And that's a great point because Paul, I never hear anyone make that point, so that's great that you brought that up. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to something else that's great. The Jim Kelly golf tournament where Rex gave the guys off. He said, hey, no practicing today, but he made sure every single player went and it was great for bonding, right?
I mean, absolutely. I'm a golfer. I love golf. Terry Hills is an incredible experience to have for people, especially if you're playing in type of a tournament like that, a scramble tournament. It's a beautiful track, great time. But I think for me, the coolest thing was to see all the pictures with these young guys integrated with the legends that we've come to know. Bruce, Thurman, Andre, Jimbo. You see these guys, Darryl Talley was there, Steve Tasker. Guys that, roll off of our tongue because we've known them for so long. But some of these guys may have no idea what they've meant to this community, and now they do. And you got to give Rex a lot of credit here, making sure that these guys not only understand that this is a big deal, but it's an even bigger deal to people like us who love to see them, becoming more of a part of the community.
You want to be proud of your players, and you're proud of them when you know that they understand the history of the team, who they're playing for, what that logo on their helmet stands for. Not just, hey, I'm in the NFL and I don't care what team I play for. There's gonna be a lot of Bills pride going on with these players now because of that experience, I think.
Sure.
I think Rex made a very good strategical coaching move by canceling practice and taking all the players out there.
Yeah.
It gave everybody a chance to bond. It gave all the players to come together and just hang out without the pads, without studying the playbooks and stuff, like just to let loose for a little bit. And sometimes that little move right there can do so much in the long run.
And I agree with that.
Not to mention the fact that it was for the greatest purpose. Jim Kelly and the golf tournament. So he couldn't have brought them both together in a better way.
Yeah.
He got the team a chance to hang out with each other and bond for a great cause with all the old veterans and the Pro Bowlers and from our days, 91 through 94 and stuff. 90 through 91? 91 was the first one. 91, 92, 93, 94. 91 to 94, yeah. Yeah, so sorry I had to use my fingers on that one, people.
It's all right.
But I can count to 4 now.
Honestly, how cool would it have been to be on a bus ride with a bunch of Bills going from Orchard Park down to Batavia?
Oh.
I mean, that must have been the most fun for them because, let's face it, these guys are catered. They're coming from schools like Alabama, Notre Dame, LSU, whatever. But to get in a bus and go down with your team and just have a good time down there, it had to have been such an awesome, awesome experience for those young players.
Absolutely, yeah, because they're pretty green behind the ears.
Sure.
I heard quite a few of them were pretty green on the golf course as well.
Yeah, pretty new to the game.
Yeah, they're pretty new. But I'm sure by within the next few years they'll be pros.
Well, speaking of taking bus rides, places in regards football, we're going to actually bring up an awesome, fun subject. Because there's a lot of games where people go out of the way and you watch the games on TV and you hear some cheering for maybe Fred Jackson scoring a touchdown. Or it sounds like the Bills Mafia is actually representing down at that stadium, but that can't be right. You're talking on the West Coast, you're talking down south, you're talking Kansas City, but people go. Bills fans are loyal.
Absolutely. I had an opportunity to go to Detroit last year, not for the Jets game, but for the actual Detroit game, which, if you remember, that's when the clown was shooting the laser at Carpenter and he made the bomb and we beat him.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean, the Bills fans were extremely well represented down there. And, Detroit's a big place, big dome. It's about a 5-hour ride, maybe even quicker if you go through Canada. And, there were people all over the place, a lot of red, white, and blue. It was a great experience. Plus, they won, which made it even more fun. But, every time I've had an opportunity to go on a road trip, I've tried to parlay it into something else, where we used to go to Indy when I was younger, long before Peyton Manning showed up, and Indy wasn't that good. And, we would stop at Notre Dame on Saturday, go to Indy, and then come back. This year, we went to Cedar Point on our way to Cleveland, and then up to Detroit, and then back through Canada. So I think that's the best thing about it, is that Sunday you can look forward to, but if you leave town a little early, let's say for Philly or for Memphis this year, or even the Jets or New England or even Miami, which some people go to, it's such a good time, and it's something that I think all Bills fans should take advantage of so that they can see how well represented their team is when they go into different cities across this country.
Yeah, and we are a fan base that has grown and grown and grown and grown. I mean, you think of all the people who decades ago actually left Buffalo for economic reasons. Well, they raised their kids to be Bills fans too.
Absolutely.
So they're transplanted and they're growing, and it's just the Bills are turning into almost like the Steeler Nation, things like that nature. And that's just something the Bills Mafia has been, the phrase that's been coined for us, and I think it's pretty impressive, pretty fun, and people take pride in being a Bills fan. I love it.
No matter where you are in these United States, if there's a football town in there, they have a bar dedicated to the Buffalo Bills.
They do.
The Miami, it doesn't matter. Down south, wherever we play or wherever we have fans, there's a bar out there.
I went to San Diego back in 2009. The Bills were playing home against New England that weekend, and it was 10 o'clock. And we went to this place, I looked it up on the internet, wasn't expecting much. We walk in, there's 100 people in there, there's food and everything. It was great. And you're right, these Bills backer bars, they're everywhere you go. And, if you are out of town or if you're watching this in another city, look them up. They're out there and they're a great time. And trust me, as this train gets rocking, there's going to be more people getting on board, that's for sure.
Buffalo Bills fans are and I guess I'm a little prejudiced.
You're a lot prejudiced.
I'm a lot prejudiced. I'm a Bills fan. Yes, I am. But we support our team so much. I mean, we're like die hard when it comes to Bills and stuff like that. You got the Bills for Life page on Facebook. They have 28,000 members of that group. They've already surpassed WGR as far as members go.
The Bills Mafia, that is.
Well, the name of the group is Bills for Life.
Okay.
Right? And all the members are in there. We basically consider themselves Bills Mafia.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So Bills Mafia is a lot bigger than the 28,000, but just that group in itself has over 28,000. And I think in 3 years they've surpassed GR.
Good.
Yeah.
Paul, what's your target this season? Where are you going to go for your Bills road game?
Definitely looking to go to Memphis. I'd love to go down to Tennessee and check it out. Plus, it's a nice weekend. It's the long weekend in October. So, talk to my dad and my brother, my compadres, when it comes to road trips, and we're already looking at it. Philly is something that's on the table too, and maybe even DC. It's just a little bit more difficult to get tickets over there than I think it would be in Tennessee. And then obviously, who knows? If things are rocking and rolling, could see myself making a trip to Foxborough late in the season if I had to. That would be a good problem to have, that's for sure.
Yeah, just bring a bodyguard.
I think
Costner.
the Philly game would be a game to go to this year with Kiko going over there and us getting McCoy.
Sure.
It would definitely be one heck of a game to go to, and hopefully Bills will come out on top.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Philly. That's going to lead us to our next segment. My favorite segment of the show, it's Are You Out of Your Mind?
Why can I never remember this? Every week.
Are you out of your mind?
I'm like,
Well, here's what our Eastside Jerome brought up. Our friend Clinton Portis was on the NFL Network, and basically he was asked about LaShawn McCoy and his move away from Philly and how he's going to do. He's going to have a drop off, and he thought the opposite. But unfortunately, it was almost like a backhanded compliment because what he said was, yeah, he's going to have a better season because he's not in Philly anymore. There's no distractions. He's going to be in Buffalo, and there's nothing to do in Buffalo but focus on football.
Are you out of your
Hey,
mind?
man. I mean, has he been here yet? He should probably have Willis come back and give him a little tour. I know that those guys went to college together because it seems to me they didn't do, well, Willis certainly didn't do much exploring out of his hotel room wherever he was. Look, man, everybody's got to have something to say. Hockey players say it, football players say it, and the way things are going, we see the change. You know what I mean? We see downtown, we know what the Pagulas are doing.
Yeah.
These people have no idea. I mean, Clinton Portis, is he going to play in Canada this year or something? I mean, where are you going to play this year, Clinton? Because, I mean, you really shouldn't be talking too much trash knowing that you might be in the booth sooner than later anyway.
Yeah.
Ask Brady how that went.
Yeah, exactly. Buffalo, a lot of people, they talk a lot of crap about Buffalo. Yes, it is a quieter football town than most, but we got a lot of things to do out here. It's just not a fast-paced city like Philly or New York or Dallas or something like that. But Buffalo's a great place to be. It's definitely a great place to live.
Yeah. You ain't gonna tell us, that's for sure.
Yeah, plenty of players, hockey and football, have retired here, made it their home. Especially some of the great players, Hall of Famers, and they'll tell these guys when they come in for interviews, check out the places. Hey, look, you're gonna want to stay here, and that's what helped Mario Williams make his decision too.
Yep.
He found it was a family place. It's a great place to raise a family and settle your roots, and you're gonna be treated like the legend. I mean, there are nearly 1 million people in Erie alone, so. It's a big place, and it's growing even more.
Well, Erie's a little bit 45 minutes south.
No, Erie County.
Oh,
yeah,
Erie County. Oh, you know what? I does say New York up there.
That's on me.
I'm still getting used to this teleprompter, but it's Buffalo's growing again. We went through our down. We're coming back on our up.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo was designed by the same architect that designed the parks in New York City. So that's why there's so many parks around Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo is known as one of the top architectural cities in the United States. And
We know you.
I was born in Brooklyn, and I'll never move back. I don't like the Jets. I don't like the Giants. Buffalo.
Doesn't even like the Nets.
Who are they? Actually, I do kind of like the Nets.
We're lucky. Frederick Lawlenstead certainly did put a real nice landscape here for us. Spencer and I grew up at Cass Park. I mean, look, I could sit here and talk for hours about how great this place is. For me, the only way that we're going to get the respect that we deserve is if we win. And once we win, the Clinton Portises and the Willis McGahees and the Marshawn Lynches and everybody who's had something nasty or stupid to say about us, they can eat crow. And I'm looking forward to that day.
Absolutely. That's going to move us on to a little weird thing happened early. It was almost a blip on the radar, and then it was gone. There was a quick report, I don't know if it's tweeted or I don't even know who did it, but somebody said there were ties that Ray Rice might come to Buffalo, and then almost immediately after, another report came out that refuted that and said, no, that's not going to happen. How would you guys feel if that were to be true?
Ray Rice running back, right?
I think so.
We got too many. I mean, I can't say nothing bad. If they were to extend them, any team were to extend them a contract offer. Mm-hmm. He had the situation with his ex-wife.
No, his wife.
But she wasn't the wife at the time.
Right. But
then they got married and stuff like that. Yeah. Do I condone it? No. But people have done more. People have done worse.
I don't want them. And honestly,
I'm not saying I don't want them.
Look, we have a woman owner with Mr. and Mrs. Pagula are a team effort. I just think it would look very, very bad the first year that they come into power, that we bring in a guy who we all, the whole world saw him, just assault his girlfriend, and then of course it turns into I love him and you don't understand type thing. We get married the next week. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It's ridiculous. And honestly, I mean, Ray Rice is going to have a real difficult time landing a job anywhere. And I just don't think it's going to be here for the simple fact that Kim Pagula is just as much part of this team as anyone else, and I think it would just not look right knowing that you have a woman owner bringing in someone like that.
So if they did go against the grain there and bring in a guy like Ray Rice, what would you guys say to them?
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
But just real quick before we move forward, you take if you had a choice, if you had to pick one, and I don't condone either. Do you take the wife beater or the child abuser? Adrian Peterson.
I'll take Fred Jackson.
He wasn't part of the. I take Fred Jackson.
I love that.
We don't want either of them guys.
And honestly, Peterson's not going anywhere.
No.
They got him. They're locked up for too much dough. It's either you play or you don't. And Minnesota has no problem with waiting him out because they control that entire situation right now.
We've seen it happen to Marcus Allen when the Raiders had him, and they said, well, you just won't play. Which actually extended his career, which is amazing. But to move on to something else that is kind of shocking, I guess, Cam Newton's extension is a little bit ludicrous. First 3 years are guaranteed, and it's a huge, heaping amount, which eventually adds up to about $130 million. They're saying he's their franchise quarterback, but does he deserve that much right up front? Carolina?
Are you out of your mind? I like Cam Newton. I think he's a good quarterback, very athletic quarterback. But his record right now is 151 and 150, something like that, if I remember correctly.
That's 11 games. I don't know.
I think it might be.
It might be 51 and 50.
Okay, nutshell, that might sound more like it. In a nutshell, he's a 500 quarterback right now.
Okay.
Okay, the number might be wrong, but I do
one
remember
good season.
He's a 500 quarterback with one good season.
Mm-hmm.
So to give him that much money, I don't know. I think they were a little bit out of their mind.
I think they're just trying to play ball with all the other guys getting signed. I mean, Tannehill getting that much money. How do you not get Cam Newton a little bit more?
What is it? 67.6 million the first 3 years of his 5-year, 103.8 million.
He might go with Doug Marrone and after 3 years just walk away.
Well, and look, you're right. The guy's an athlete. He's a beast. He's huge. He's got a great arm. He can run. He can do all these things. He needs to lead. Quarterbacks need to lead.
Yeah.
It's the only way that they're going to have any success. And at least they have, I kind of look at it as like a chessboard. The Bills, we got a lot of knights, tons of pawns, a couple bishops, but we don't have that queen, in the middle of the board that can just kind of run and own everything. That's what Cam is. On the chessboard, he's the queen because he can do it all.
Right.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have that supporting cast.
You're right.
It's going to be very difficult for him. He does have Benjamin in there. There are some other weapons that come to the table, but I don't know. That division is terrible. So if they can go and do what they did last year, they're going to make the playoffs.
Right.
You got to get deep in the playoffs. That's the problem.
That's where the quarterback makes the difference.
But what was their record last year?
7-9, and I think they got
7-9 making the playoffs.
Yeah. Just good enough.
But then again, as far as the quarterback signings go lately, they're a little bit ridiculous. Tannehill, is that how you say his name?
Ryan Tannehill.
Tannehill signing.
That's the market,
Yeah, exactly.
And look, the Bills would have loved to have a chance to get a guy like Cam Newton, and they really would have. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of other things tied in, and Carolina wasn't going to let him go.
No.
When the time comes, there are going to be names that you're going to be like, wow, he really made that much? But that's just the market right now. You've got a couple good quarterbacks, a couple guys that can get you over the hump, and then everybody else. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what we were going to talk about next, right, Spence?
Quarterbacks, yeah.
The fantasy stuff.
Well, we are, but there's one last thing I want to touch on. That's okay. You're pretty close. We're right on there. This guy just keeps digging himself deeper and deeper. We're talking about Johnny Football. The guy is possibly clinging to his professional career. It's on life support. Goes to a golf tournament and gets heckled. Now, this guy's already treading water. He's walking on eggshells. And what does he do to the heckler but throws a bottle of water at the guy and misses? But
he wasn't even on target with that.
Exactly. Now, in your tight situation, Johnny Manziel, you might lose your job. Johnny,
are you out of your mind?
Come on. What do you guys think of this?
He's a young kid. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for him. He's got to pick his poison and pick his battles. That is not a place where you want to be getting yourself into trouble. Plus, you come out looking like a rump when you miss the guy. I wish he would have hit him. At least he could have paid for it and end up looking kind of cool in it. But
my accuracy's gotten better, that's for sure.
The saga continues with that dude. I don't think we're going to be hearing his name much more. I don't think that he's going to turn into much of anything out there, and especially on a team like Cleveland where, he's got to be almost perfect to have any opportunity to win.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Johnny Football, poor kid, he's just making every mistake there is.
He's like a child actor.
He pretty much is. Between, did it ever come out? Did it ever come out what he was in for substance abuse? What substance he was in there for?
Just boozing.
Just boozing? They must have been doing a little of the old. If you ask me too.
You never know. You never know. But I mean, it's.
But but regardless of the situation, he's living the life before earning it, and he's been doing that since college. Mm-hmm. Young man, you still got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
You need to take a step back and figure out what's important to you. The partying or the Super Bowl, the job. Mm-hmm. Because if he continues the way he is, he's gonna get cut. Somebody will pick him up, or he'll get traded, or something like that.
He's
for
gonna
like
turn into a journeyman, or he'll be a flash in the pan.
Exactly.
Exactly. A couple commercials, and he's out the door.
Another Ryan Leaf type of guy.
I don't know. There'll never be another Ryan Leaf. They broke the mold on his head.
could watch him yelling at reporters day after day.
Oh my god, that guy was so entertaining.
Yeah,
Almost as entertaining as George Bush, our former president. But
Our producer back there has got it out of his mind going on right now, thinking that he's going to eventually end up doing good.
The only way he does well is if Brady retires and he goes in and plays in New England or something like that.
Somehow,
I just don't see him ever going to some team and rescuing them. It's certainly not going to be Cleveland. I mean, let's face it, they are in dire straits and have been forever. So I just don't see them having every opportunity.
I haven't seen enough of him on the NFL level to say that even on a different team that he'll do good.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen really any glimpses of wow, this guy.
Saw one when he played against the Bills and
Yep.
he went down the field like nothing, and I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit! Oh my god, this guy's going to be amazing. And then of course we get the sack and
And then the
fumble.
sack, the
Right,
fumbles. Oh my God!
And the party started right after.
That's because he was celebrating the one good play he did instead of focusing on the game.
Yeah.
But before we move out of here, it's not so much are you out of your mind, but it kind of is.
Mhm.
You know, McCoy, glad to have you on the team. Whatever happened in Philly, leave it there. You know,
I heard that's his attitude. Someone was actually interviewing him today, and he kind of got mad and said, "Hey, I'm done. That's the past. Don't ask me about Chip."
They're talking about the prejudiceness. He's calling Chip prejudice.
You know, he claims that Kelly got rid of the good black players, and look, sour grapes are sour grapes. Everybody knows that he loved it there and he didn't want to go.
Right.
He's a Pennsylvania guy. He went to Pitt. And he went out to Philly. Yeah, everybody loved him. He was shady. Now he comes to Buffalo where it snows all the time and no one knows much about what's going on. Look at Shady. You're going to be here and you're going to love it, and we're going to love you. You score some touchdowns and do some dancing, I guarantee everybody in this room's going to love you. That's for sure.
I love him already.
Absolutely, yeah. We're happy to have you, man. Don't worry, you're a Buffalo Bill now, and we're gonna back you up. Don't you worry about that. You're one of us. Moving on to quarterbacks in the fantasy range. I mean, everybody loves fantasy football. Again, you can't get enough of this.
Reigning champion in my league, right here.
This guy.
I gotta pull something out of my ass
Yeah,
for
okay.
this one.
We're going to talk quarterbacks. In the previous weeks, we already hit running backs. We hit wide receivers. We're going to talk about the easy ones, the top five. Everybody.
Well, why don't we do a draft? You pick first, you pick second, I'll go third and fourth, and then we'll just bounce back and forth.
Straight up just quarterbacks?
Yeah.
You want how many are we taking?
We'll do 10. We'll do the top 10 right here, and then we'll see who it is. What do you think about
I
that?
can go with that.
So wait, so we're going to basically just...
So one of us will get 4, just like the Bills. How about that?
So once the guy's out of the draft pool, though, he's gone, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I like that.
So you're first, Spence. Who are you taking?
All right, well, we're not going to pull a draft over. We're just going to go for it. All right.
You need a cheat sheet? Or you like to look at mine?
No, I think this is pretty easy.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
going to
for the
go...
number one, yeah.
I'm going to go Andrew Luck. I was thinking Rodgers, but I think Andrew Luck, now he's got Andre Johnson, now he's got a running game. T.Y. Hilton's hot. He's got 2 other receivers that are playing well. So they're going to be fine with him. And he's Colby Fleener. He's got some good tight ends too. I think he's going to take what he did last year and go above and beyond. He's going to be the hot ticket. I tried to actually trade for him. My fantasy league is going to open up the trading pretty soon. And I was talking to the guy who owns him right now. And my phone's going off. But hey, I want to get this guy, and this guy knew he's a stud. And I was hoping to pull the wool over this guy's eyes. He would not budge. He said no way.
I traded Andrew Luck. I drafted him last year in my league. He had 2 great weeks to start. Was kicking butt. Traded him straight up. Aaron Rodgers for Andrew Luck in like week 3. And that's when Aaron Rodgers just took off like out of a cannon. So,
yeah.
I think it's a toss-up with both of those guys. But, I mean, you can't go wrong with Luck. He's going to run the ball. He's going to throw the ball. And he's going to score a lot of points for you. He's a beast.
He's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
So who's number 2, Mike?
Number 2, I'm going with the second safest bet. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers.
You got it, right?
You have to.
You have to. And I like the fact that producers actually putting the draft board up there for us so we don't repeat any guys there. Well, Paul, it's up to you. Who's number 3?
The only reason why I wouldn't take this guy is because he's going to be missing 4 games. So I'm going to leave him up to one of y'all. And I hate him, so I wouldn't pick him anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take kind of like off the cuff here. I mean, I gotta go with Peyton Manning. I mean, right? I guess that's not off the cuff because that would pretty much fall right into line there. So I would take him, but I would also take, I think,
You get two. It's a snake draft.
yes,
Okay.
it's my
So we're gonna
turn.
come back?
We're gonna come back.
Oh, okay.
I would take Russell Wilson there. I
Yeah.
mean, and I know that he's not in that top 5 range, but knowing that I would have Peyton as my starter, I'd like to have Russell as my backup.
Well, you did very good as far as he is on here ranked 4th.
Oh, okay.
Russell Wilson.
All right, well,
Well, he
Peyton
didn't
at
do what?
3.
I might have put Brady 4th. That would have been me.
That's funny. They got Brady at 10 here.
I personally would drop Manning this year. Not drop him off our roster. I'm saying drop him down the rankings a bit because I think he's, he's lost his tight end. Obviously, he went down to Jacksonville. I don't know why, but I think it's
They got a great offensive line coach there. He's going to teach him a lot too.
Manning?
in Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyways, I think Manning's going to drop down. He'll still be in the top 10 easy, but I don't think he's going to be in the top 3.
I think Manning. I saw a definitely decline in him last year, especially with the long ball. The ball wasn't coming out of his hands. He seemed to be pushing it a lot more.
He looked like he struggled against the Bills and really started there.
Towards
you
the
know?
latter half of the season, he was just. I don't know if it was an injury that he just wasn't talking about or something like that. But Manning definitely looked like he struggled.
The Bills exposed a lot of, I think, some of his weaknesses.
Yeah.
But they still were able to take it to us that day. But
I'm a little nervous. Next on my board is Drew Brees, but I'm a little nervous to take him with him losing Jimmy Graham and Sproles.
well, then who are you going to take, buddy?
I don't know, just segueing into it.
5.
Oh,
Oh,
here we
he's on the
go.
clock. He's going to turn to
I'm
Minnesota.
gonna go with Cam Newton.
Ooh.
Cam Newton. He's going to live up to that contract?
Okay.
Is that what you're telling me?
I think
Are you out of your mind?
I know Newton got Spiller, but I just don't think that's. I know Drew Brees has Spiller, but I just don't think that's enough, especially with Spiller coming off of his injury. It still leaves a few things, a few question marks there for me.
I don't know. I think Drew Brees could have nobody in on the lineup on receiving the balls or anything. That guy makes it. What is that about? I think Drew Brees has got the talent to throw the ball at anybody. They've had so many wide receivers rotate through there. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think he made Jimmy Graham. Not to say that Jimmy Graham is talented, but
He's a pro. He's definite pro.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't believe you're actually going to let Drew Brees drop to me
I'm
right
gonna
now.
let Drew Brees
We've
drop to you.
got 2 coming here.
I know. So I will take Drew Brees.
Go ahead.
Brees and thank you. And then I will back him up with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I hate him, but since he's going to be my 3rd quarterback, I can I could lose him to a few suspensions right at this point. And he starts off slow, but towards the end of the season, he really heats up. And
Knowing that he's not going to be playing at the beginning means that they're going to have him on the field at the end.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be sitting and resting like he did against the Bills last year, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are, a big fantasy guy, Brady may be something that you want to shy away from because of that suspension.
Mm-hmm.
But trust me, at the end of the year, he's going to be on the field.
because they're going to be playing. I can't talk. Be playing for their playoff life. So
Yeah.
he's going to play every game towards the end.
That, and you might be able to get him after the draft because he's gonna miss the 4 games, so people might not even want to pick him up.
No.
So
He will drop. He will drop.
He'll drop to maybe like the 4th or 5th round, but he
Yeah.
is definitely going to be.
Yeah,
something.
don't spend any of your top 3 picks on him. He will be there in the 5th or 6th. And that, I guess, was that doing it? Or we're
No,
We
we're-
got 7. I know who I want. I'm
I know
making
who
sure
I
that Mike doesn't
want.
take
I
him
know
on
who
me,
I
man.
want. No, you know what? I'm not going to take him on you. Oh, but man, I'm having a.
This is where it gets tough. The obvious guys are gone.
No, there's some.
No,
obvious
there's
guys
some
there.
good ones here.
There's some
That-
good
I'm gonna
ones.
tell you the 3.
But you got to think.
I'm gonna tell you
You
the
gotta start
3.
Why don't you tell us the 1? Because you need to pick 1.
I know, but can I tell you the 3 that I'm looking at? Or you just see this guy's just straight to the point.
I
don't
already-
care who's in the back of your head.
All right, okay,
Pick your
okay.
damn player.
All right.
This
I'll
is a
give you the
draft now. You
benefit of the
want to show your
doubt.
hand. That's fine with us.
I'm doing it for them, not for you guys. Honestly, okay, this is what I'm gonna go with here, and I'm gonna go with Ryan Tannehill.
Real.
Yes.
Wow.
He's been playing a little bit better every year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he deserved that mega contract, but he's been playing good ball.
Okay.
The other guy I was honestly going to take was Roethlisberger.
And that's who I was taking, no matter what.
You know what? That's why I left him for you.
Thank you. I'll take Big Ben, and I'll also take Phillip Rivers, which would give me Manning Russell Wilson, Big Ben, and Phillip Rivers. Thank you. I'm going just pretty good right with that squad right there.
Well, sorry to bounce it right back at you, but it's your pick.
Well, we got the 10.
Oh, we got the top 10. We're just
We
doing
got the
top
top
10.
10.
Okay,
We got the top 10.
Why don't we all get 4?
Well,
We want to get 4?
Yeah, because otherwise, I'm short-handed. So would you?
You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me with this one because there's no one.
Well, why don't you just throw a dart? Because that's what you've been doing the rest of the draft. Because your picks are shitty.
Hold on, let me see right here. Okay. Tony Romo.
Tony Romo.
Tony Romo.
I knew that one was coming sooner or later.
Somebody always has to take him.
So you got one more, Spence, the 12th man here, the dark horse. Who's it going to be, my
Mr.
brother?
Irrelevant.
All right, I think.
Do it. Go with Castle. Do it. Do it, Castle.
I should just have a bill on my roster because who doesn't always put a bill on my roster towards the end, even just a punter for a day or Carpenter on your team. But I think I want to make sure our fans understand what's going to be a good player for them. I think I'm not going to take him because personally I've gotten burned the last 4 seasons with him, Matt Stafford, but he is going to have quite possibly his best season. If you take him late, take him late. Do not take him early. But they drafted offensive linemen. That's going to help him. A healthy Megatron's going to help him. Possibly their tight end they drafted last year. Who was the rookie who kind of didn't do so hot, but he's going to be in the second season.
Oh, no, I know.
Well, I can't think
The
of
Bills wanted him.
basically, what the heck was that kid's name?
Yeah.
E-I-E-I-O. Hey, producer, you're letting us down here, man.
No, I know.
Yeah, I can't think of this kid's name. But everybody else knows what I'm talking about. The tight end for the Detroit Lions that they drafted last year. Everybody was hot on him. Even the producer is crying in there. He can't figure out what it is. Now he's going to Google him. Moving on from that.
You know who I was surprised didn't get picked up by anyone? Is Matt Ryan.
Dude, that was my pick. I didn't pick Stafford. I'm saying I'm not picking Stafford, but you can't take
Matty Ice?
I'm taking Matty Ice.
All right.
They're going to have a running game this year, and their defense is going to play a little better too. I think he has a rebound season, and that's another guy who you can crack the top 10. He's not an obvious top 5, but I think he's going to easily crack the top 10 and have a pretty good season.
Ebron.
I don't think I have an E.
Yes, that's what I thought we were gonna pick up in the draft before we made that blockbuster deal for Watkins.
Yeah,
A lot of people did.
I would not have been disappointed, but I'm glad we got Watkins. I'm glad with the moves that the Bills made to
get who we got.
not only that, but to compensate for the lack of having a first round pick this year.
Sure.
Yeah, I think they did a hell of a job.
Does that round it out? Has everybody got 4 guys now?
Yeah, we're
I think
good.
it does. Okay, one guy I just want to mention here that people are going to not even probably draft. But look out for Eli Manning this year. He's going to, I'm telling you, he's going to rebound.
Bring that guy.
Odell Beckham is in his 2nd season. I think the Giants did a great job bringing in Shane Vereen. He's going to be coming out of the backfield, catching some passes from him. I think Eli's numbers are going to improve. So if you got to take a guy for a bye week, or if you want to say, well, I'll take him, but he's going to come in and actually put up some good numbers, maybe win you a few games. Keep your eye on him. Keep him on your scout team. Do what you got to do. Do not sell him short. He's going to have a much better season. Come on, he's got 2 rings.
I think Carson Palmer too. I know that Ralphie's back there trying to get us pumping them into our head, but he did get hurt, and they got a nice team. If Arizona can stay healthy, they're a lot like the Bills. They got a good D. They play in a tough division, but they play well at home, and if their quarterback can do anything, they'll have a shot.
No,
and they got a great coach.
All these quarterbacks, they're just too many variables. I mean, between Manning, Palmer, and Carr, Derek Carr from the Raiders. It's just too many variables to really just waste at least a early pick. If you can get them down at the end of the draft or something like that as a backup or something like that, then maybe one of those guys will work out for the team.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to. Yeah, you got to fill in your other spots. You can't not be taking chances on guys like that.
No, don't do that.
Our producer has a question for us right now.
Wait, I'm getting a call. Sounds like our producer.
Is it from the bat phone?
It's from the bat phone.
Mariota or Winston?
He sits there in the back end.
Mariota or Winston?
Who has a better season? I think Mariota. If he does get to play, he's going to be in the right system. to do that. He's pretty quick. I think they're a young team. I think he does come in not at the beginning. I think he comes in later in the season when the initial quarterback, and I can't remember Tennessee's starting quarterback's name, but he's got potential. But I think Mariota eventually comes in. He's got too much speed and he's got too much athleticism. So
I don't think he's going to get a shot.
No.
I'm not the same one that Winston will get. That's for sure.
Winston will have the
He's going to play right away, you know. So he's going to take his licks, and he's going to be on TV a lot, and people are going to want to see what he has to offer. And let's be honest, a lot of people are going to want to see him fail. So I don't know. Tampa stinks, and they have for a long time. It'd be very hard for him to go in there and make a big difference right off the bat. But he could play. He's smart. He's a big guy, and he sees the field. So the off the field stuff, a lot with Manziel. You know, just like Manziel, you got to grow up and put that aside. I think Winston will. I don't think Manziel will. I think Winston will, and he'll certainly be able to go in there and have an opportunity to show people what he's got right off the bat.
Mike, any comment?
My comment is that I've been saying it from the beginning of the season, and I'll continue to say it. Obviously, just to answer the question, if Winston is the only one getting on the field this year, he's going to have a better season. But I see Boston both of them.
Yeah.
I see Boston both of them.
Man, you're Mr. Negative today. I like that about you. A double bust in the first round. All right.
Boston in the first round, exactly.
Man.
Listen, this week there were a total of 6 quarterbacks drafted throughout the whole draft. That's the lowest number ever. There weren't any good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston, good college quarterback.
Yeah, big dude though.
Big dude.
Yeah.
I just don't see him making the transition.
Marcus Russell's a big dude too. And
Big
so
dude.
is Ryan Leaf.
So is EJ Manuel.
Let's do some shout outs here unless there's anything else you guys want to add or
I just want to send a big shout out to House of Vapors. 6 locations here in the Western New York area. Check them out, houseofvapors.com for all your vaping needs. Bills for Life fan page on Facebook. Mark Hoppy and all you guys doing a great job. Over 28,000 members already in just over 3 years. That is phenomenal. Everybody, check them out on Facebook, billsforlife.com.
All right, well that does it. Paul, any shout outs? Want to say hi to mom? Anything like that?
No, I love your mom, but just wanted to tell the people out there I'm looking forward to doing this with these guys, Michael and Spencer and Ralphie back there. And if you want to check out, I do a weekly bit for BuffaloVibe.com. We've been working together for almost a year and a half now. Things have gone very, very well. I'm tight with the guys that run the website. It's got everything that Buffalo has to offer, from entertainment to sports to food to all of that. So check it out. I'm in there weekly, not just talking football, but also talking sports and, bringing my astute personality to everything that I have to write about. That's for sure.
Paul, are you looking for any followers on your Twitter account?
Yeah, PMX Crawley at Twitter. Look me up, PC Junior. I'm on there all the time, cracking jokes and having fun with my friends. So if it's something that you like to do, which a lot of guys do, check it out. A lot of girls too. A lot of jokes, a lot of good times, but mostly sports, mostly Bills, mostly golf, stuff like that. So that's what I do.
Awesome.
Beautiful. All right, well,
Spencer?
that was a great show.
You want to shake my hand?
I want to shake your hand. I want to shake your hand. I want to thank you guys. I think it was a very
Great
excellent
job.
show.
Great job, Michael.
We had some fun. And I guess that does it for tonight.
Great job back there, Ralphie boy.
Ralphie boy.
We got our producer man in the back, Rob Diaz, the TI guy for all of your computer needs. Hit him up on Facebook. And Buffalo, have a good night.
Have a good night. Catch us next week. Bills Talking Online.
We're out of here.